There you
Can you
go.
hear me?
Perfect. Thanks, Ron. Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you good.
So sorry, guys, but we, I just had to make a decision this morning to cancel our Christmas party, which not always a. So I'm the Grinch that stole the Christmas party this morning, but it was out of an abundance of caution here. We put our, the first time around in COVID, we were ahead of the curve, and we actually encouraged people to work from. We mandated them before it was required in the province. And it's because, and we had a smaller workforce back then. So on this one on Monday, we reinstated all of our mask mandates that expired on July 1st. And we put the social distancing back in place, as room limits. We did all that. And then just said we got to play it ear by ear, day by day. Just, too much stuff happening in the last couple of days with the variant. And I am not going to put any of my staff or their families or their friends at risk. So got up early this morning and made a decision to come in. We just checked with the management team, and there's going to be some sad people, but hopefully they'll maintain their health during this period of time. So that's why I'm a little late. And I was also doing a shred audit with the Revenue Canada this morning. So a lot of stuff going on. So I know you've got a couple of questions, but one of the things that I want to do is, and I've got the questions here, and to indicate where the company is at. So the company, when we went to the market back in February, it was with a very determined strategic plan with milestones to move the company from an R&D company over to a market company with a product. And I want to tell everybody today that we have been successful in doing that. We have both facilities in full operations right now. We've moved the entire engineering division over to the new facility in Viking Way. That's 17,000 square foot. It took us about 6 months to get that facility fully up and running because of all of the renovations and supply chain issues and things like copper, hard to get, and the price goes up. So we're currently building out our batteries over there. So I'm very, very pleased with the progress. We missed some time because of supply chain and some permitting issues. So over in the stack development side, we have double the stack production for probably the next 2 months to recapture any lost time because of supply chains. And that's going fine. It's really nice. The battery, the first battery that we're really building out there is for the, as announced, cloud data provider. I'm really happy with this. I mean, we had a lot of pictures went around the other day when we actually moved it to get recharged, to get it charged up with the KOH. It's the last thing you do before you start producing data. So we're totally on track. Some people have said, there's not a lot of news. I want to address that. We're a different type of company. We're a technology company. And so we're now in that process of moving, as I said, from an R&D over to production. So there isn't an announcement every couple of weeks. The announcements that we like to make is that we're on time and on budget. And that's really important for us. We've made great strides down in places like New York. And we are heavily engaged both with the government there. I've made 3 trips in the last 2 months. Don't know if I'll be able to make one anytime soon, but we'll see. But we're in deep negotiations with the state officials and provincial and federal officials on accessing some of the fairly significant program dollars for renewable energy and storage, in particular, the ones that have come out of the Building Back Better infrastructure bill that was just approved by Congress. We've got good reason to believe that we will be successful in moving through that, because we will be the next energy storage company most likely to be in production in the United States. We have 3 sites that we've indicated before that we are looking at. You'll see some announcements in the next little bit, probably by end of year, just an update about where we're at on those various sites and some of the other contractors that are helping us through that. So we've made big strides. There's a number of hopeful new announcements to come out of New York, but also at a place like California and Germany. These things take time. So I know you've been dealing with drill programs. You have a defined drill program, you get it, get the results, you help analyze the results, you wait for analysts. For us, we're kind of past that. Our technology is there. We are testing the technology for certifications by end of next year. So this 2002 is the year that we really have to put our head down, be cognizant of our budget, manage this company as a manufacturing company, and get our first production out by very end of this year. And that is what that's what we're aiming for. The product is going to be a 40 kilowatt product. It is being designed specifically for the New York market, New York City. But it's a market that we know will be replicated all through those cities on the eastern seaboard. So we're very focused on that. We're focused on reaching out to partners with pipelines so that we've actually got customers for when our production goes full in. Looking at for 2023 on the smaller product, probably about 2.8 megawatts of production. And then somehow, somewhere through that 2023, we will be transitioning to our new full-scale commercial production facility, most likely in New York State. So that's my quick update. So every day we're working here. We have, as of yesterday, we have now 51 people in 2 facilities. The caliber of senior management that we've been able to attract is a bit humbling because we can't pay what revenue companies can pay. So yeah, so we've got the management team that we need. We'll have to fill in with some tech positions and stuff as the year goes on, assemblers and things like that. But we're pretty much at our batting strength right now. So that's what we've been doing the last 6 months with that money that's been raised. Okay, so you got some questions there.
Well, I think you answered most of the questions of what everybody is interested in.
Oh, no, there's one I want to answer. There's one I want to answer because this comes up all the time. So people that are out there, some of our investors, they always, and I'm glad that you do this, you're scouring the channels, finding out what competitors are doing. We do that every morning. We need to know what's out there, and we don't try to denigrate our competitors, try to figure out what they're doing. If it's better than us, how we can get our stuff better than theirs. So, and the market is growing so fast. I think one of the estimates is like CAGR of between now and 2028 of about 23%, which is enormous. And every time that somebody comes out with an estimate, it's bigger, and it's because of government policy, and it's because of these mandates like New York City has put into place. So EOS, everybody's darling. So EOS, somebody asked that there's they've been in the media a lot lately, and they've been in the media for sure. The last thing I saw from them is that they had to revise their revenue projections down by 90% for 2021. So that's not news I ever want to have to go out and put out. I think that when we start projecting revenues, we want to be pretty sure that we're going to meet them because the market expects us to manage to those objectives. The other thing with EOS, it's a great company. They got about $33 million in private funding because it was a private company. And private companies don't have to report to the market like all of us here at the Zim2 Advantage have to. And so they put their head down. They went dark for 3 years and did nothing but try to improve their technology. And so they come out and they claim that they have, say, a $200 per kilowatt hour, 8 hours. The problem that they've got, we're at 200, 250. But the problem that EOS, and they may try to resolve this, is that their $200 is their claim at 8 hours. It's $200 at 10, at 20, at 50, at 100. They haven't decoupled like we have, so they don't get the economies of scale. So they're flat. So they're flatline. With us, we're 200 to 250 at 8 hours, and then it goes down to at 20 hours. It goes all the way down to $62 when you get up to 100 hours. So that is our natural advantage that we have with our chemistry and our patents going forward. So EOS, wish them well. I love them. I have great technology. We will beat them in the market on anything over 8 hours. So the other one that come up was Form Energy. I don't speak to the competitors, but go and read about Form Energy. They are having some issues, and I'm sure they will resolve this. Smart people on their chemistry, on their core chemistry, they switched. And that happens with these emerging technologies. You work, and if something doesn't work, you've got to change. And so Form is in the process of doing that. But again, it's a great company. The other thing, it's hard on the metrics because most of the companies that are out there in this emerging market are still private and just getting ready to be taken over by a SPAC. We're not looking to be taken over by a SPAC. We're looking to get ourselves in operation and get the value out of the market that our technology should get for every one of the shareholders. Supply chain issues, EOS also said that was part of it. I got to tell you, supply chain issues are an issue for everybody on this phone call. And you can't deny it. You just got to live with it. Price increases. I just spoke at the International Zinc Association down in Charlotte. Um, and so we're worried about this. We say that our cost of material for kilowatt of storage was about $5. Went up 33%, so it's at about $7. But guess what? Lithium, which was at $57, went up 338%. It's probably moderated. And if you go over to vanadium, which was at about $152, it's gone up by a factor of probably 70%. So in actual fact, it gives us a better advantage. I just told all the producers down there, don't go crazy. Okay, this is a new market for zinc, and but it actually has making us more it gives us more advantage in the market if those numbers stay. Good thing is zinc has come down a little bit, but I think most of them will come down a bit. But I would keep my eye over in the lithium. I think there's going to be a tremendous strain on that supply chain going forward. Somebody asked us about University of Buffalo. University of Buffalo, it is great. I was hoping to be down on that site actually this week. It's not going to happen until probably, we'll see what happens with COVID, but probably the second week of January. It's going well. Our partner there, New York Power Authority, is in the process of finishing the design work. That project is to be delivered, installed by the end of 2023. And even with some supply chain issues, we're somewhat confident that we'll be able to do that. And don't forget that when you have partners, they fall behind sometimes too. And it's kind of the case with Surrey House. The Surrey House, they are behind on their construction. It is a massive piece of construction. It's 358 feet long. I think the owner is occupying only a part of the building now. So our wet stacks will go in when they get the permit from the BC Hydro to hook up their solar field. So we're waiting on that every day. We've taken advantage of that slowdown to really ramp up work on the battery that we call the Sharky battery. That's one for the cloud provider, to make sure that we are going to be able to deliver that on time. And keep in mind that we've been paid for that 250,000 Canadian. So it's kind of a revenue, but it's it doesn't pay for everything. It's still part of the R&D to get this out into the marketplace. And I think maybe, somebody asked about a tour, and I know this comes up. We are working to get two things done. One is the new facility. We'll be very careful about that because we have a lot of trade secrets that can be seen. So we just have to be careful what we show. There'll be, but you'll be able to see it in operation. There's a lot of great activity over there. And over here at the Ash Street facility, starting in January, we'll be receiving significant amounts of new equipment to ramp up our cathode manufacturing substantially, from about 4 a day maximum now to when fully operational in 6 months. The new facility here will be able to produce numbers of hundreds. And that's just in anticipation of building out those batteries that we're contracted with.
Tell us about our new board member, because certainly that might display that we have some pretty good intel into the rest of the battery markets, particularly the lithium one. But we're very pleased to.
Yeah, so we've appointed Tom Hodgson to the board. I've known Tom for probably 7 or 8 years. Tom is a catch, and he's a catch for a whole bunch of reasons, and Dave just mentioned it. He's been in the lithium business most recently as president and CEO of Lithium Americas. I think I checked it a week ago Friday. It was trading over $50. It used to trade a number of years back between 25 and 50 cents as they took what was potentially a great asset and built a business plan around it. That's a very successful company in the lithium field. So why do we take somebody on from lithium? Because he knows the battery market. He's a supplier to a battery in a battery marketplace. He has very defined views about the proper and most profitable place for lithium-ion batteries, and that's over in the EV market. He sees none of them as being a threat in the long duration market for a whole variety of reasons. So typically, probably mostly on supply chain shortages that are being projected. But Tom has got a long career. He used to be president, for anybody that's old like me and Dave, of Central Guarantee Trust way back. He was vice president of CIBC Mergers and Acquisitions. He was president of one of the big companies that is over there with Magna. And he has got an incredible network. He is pumped to be asked to serve on this board because he sees this as one of those companies that's going to make the big board very happy and the investors very happy. He's already attracting new people to the story. But we've got this is a star. So we've been able to attract that, and that star is going to attract some other stars. This is a working board member. Anybody that's on the board is going to be working over the next 2 years, bringing their expertise to better decision-making for the company as we enter the market. So Tom Hodgson, I was so pleased that he accepted. Dave, you've been pretty impressed with him?
Oh, yeah, no. We had our first board meeting and he flew out and sat in, well, this boardroom right here.
Yeah.
And it was quite obvious that he joined the board not because he was Ron's friend. He joined the board because he believes in the technology. And you know, he quite likes the current trading price. His future career started at a 30-cent level and went, as Ron pointed out, $50. So that's what Tom's going to do for me and you.
Yes, yes, yes. And just so everybody knows, I haven't even told Dave, I fly out on Saturday to meet Tom on Sunday with people that he wants to hear this story. People from his network, 2 of them are running billion-dollar NASDAQ companies. So I'm flying out. I hope I hope Santa's on the plane coming back with a bag full of money, but we'll see.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ron. I think you answered pretty much everything we got.
Okay.
If we get anything else, we'll let you know.
Okay.
We'll move on here.
Thanks, guys.